Hi, I'm Carol Salva, and I am going to be sharing something that made a huge difference in my classroom. Thank you, Peter Cameron, and thank you, Derek Rodenizer, for doing MAD PD again this year. I think we need it more than ever now, so I'm very honored to be a part of it. Again, I'm going to be sharing what helps students find their motivation, engaging language learners through distance learning. Really, during distance learning, but we're using choice projects. I know this works in distance learning because we never took a lot of class time to do this. So let me make sure that you know that in the blue bar at the bottom, you'll see a short link to this slide deck. The slides are all there for you and everything is hot linked. So let's take a look at what we're going to be doing. In the next 15 minutes or so, we will express our thoughts about the choice projects by posting on Twitter using the hashtag MADPD. We also have a language goal, so this is a writing activity, and I'm going to ask you guys, you don't have to use this language, but it might help you. If you were a language learner, you would need this language to be able to do this, to be able to express your thoughts, but it's here for anybody who wants it. Now I'm thinking. Now I'm thinking. So you could use that. And we'll be doing that. And of course, I'll be over there tweeting with you right now. Autonomy, competence, relatedness, and relevancy are vocabulary terms you're going to hear me use throughout. I'm getting all of this work from Larry Ferlazzo's work over the years on what helps kids find their motivation. And it hasn't changed, but we have to think about it in terms of distance learning now. He wrote a recent article that I will share with you at the end where you can get even more, because I really recommend you follow Larry Ferlazzo. Never failed me. Autonomy means that there is some control, that the person has some control that might come as like choice. Competence means you feel competent enough to do it. You feel like you can do this. Relatedness in our context of education is that we have some relationship with the student. The student feels like we care about them. Somebody they respect cares about them. So it might be their relationship with each other too. Is that piece there? And relevancy. Is it relevant to them? Is it relevant to their lives? If you have these things, motivation should be there. You can't motivate another person, but you can create these conditions and you get a lot more motivation when these things are in existence in our classes, in our lessons. Okay, I also want to tell you that I am getting a lot, almost all of this, from the work of Noa Daniel. Noa Daniel is an educator out of Toronto, and you can follow her on Twitter right here at Noah's Bobs. If you want to hear her talking about her projects as they relate to language learners, she was on my podcast, and you can listen to that right here and read about it. But she's been doing these projects for years. You can go to buildingoutsidethebox.com and get lots more Noa Daniel. She has her own podcast too that's fantastic. So thank you, Noah, for allowing me to take your projects and adapt them a little bit for students who are just gaining English. The project I'm going to start with and really focus on for this is called the Personal Playlist Project. It's 3 songs, and you tell the class why you chose these songs. Sounds simple, but it's not, because you can only choose 3 songs. You can only choose 1 nostalgic song, 1 identity song, and 1 pick-me-up or motivator song. So that's just not easy for people to do. If I asked you to do that and share it with the world or share it with your colleagues, you'd have to really think about what 3 songs you want to do. What identifies you? Why is that a nostalgic song for you? What memory do you want to share with people? Why does that motivate you? And it's just, I smile when I think about the things that the students say about what they're going to be no matter what, and this song helps them think that. And so just beautiful things are revealed through this project. It's important that you know that these projects are not done in class. They've never been done in class. They've all been done outside of class, and students present in a 5-minute commercial break for what we're doing. I love that Noah calls them commercial breaks, because the presentations happen all year long. And so why do they do them outside of class? They do them because they can't not do them. They're really compelling. and they all feel that they can do them. I start with mine. I start with a model. So they have to hear my P3. I have 5 minutes that I share a song about when I was young, and it brings back a memory for me, and I tell them about that. My identity song, and I tell them about that. And of course, what motivates me and why I need that motivation song, why it never fails me. And so I'm revealing things about myself, but I'm opening a space and telling them, I want to know things like this about you too. So that relatedness piece starts right there. Also, we have planning pages that really help the students. Actually, these are due to me. They have to write about this. They can write in their native language. They absolutely can write in their native language, but they need to get that into English, maybe Google Translate, but we want to make sure that the English ends up accurate for their final copy that they're going to practice. We want them practicing accurate English, but they can think in any, we want to honor native language. The English is just adding to their repertoire of language. So these planning pages help them because I adapted them with lots of sentence frames about nostalgia. You know, when I hear this song, it takes me right back to, or this song reminds me of, this song is all about me because, you know, if you click this, it will take you right to the Google Doc where you can download these. We really appreciate Noa sharing all of this with us, and I want to make sure you know it's available to you. So here's a piece of autonomy right here. I will be ready to present on. What day will you be ready to present? They have control over when they present. I'm so glad that I learned this from Noa. We do not do a day full of presentations. The students say when they're ready, and these happen throughout the year. She says, like, think of them like little commercial breaks. So they're not taking time, they're building it all outside the blocks of time that we have with kids, asynchronously. And then they come for 5 minutes. So we can do this over Zoom. We can do this when we're together. We absolutely can present for 5 minutes when we're together. Here's an example of a student presenting using Google Slides. She's got some video embedded in there. She's a newcomer, and she's reading in English, and students go, oh, you can read it? Yes, you're practicing. But if it makes you feel more comfortable to hold that, this is English language development class. I'm fine if you're holding and reading from that. All of that English is literacy for them and in their target language of the class. Natalia's example is so great because her songs are actually in Spanish, but of course her explanation is in English. And her nostalgic song is about her country. There was music playing at full volume when they thought things were about to get better, and she remembers that distinctly, and that song just takes her right back to her country and in a nice memory. And her identity song is powerful too. It's in Spanish, but she's explaining in English that it tells you things like, I'm complete. I'm not missing pieces. These are just so powerful, right? Her Pick Me Up song is about a man overcoming. This man from Africa talks about how is it wrong to want his goals? He knows he might fall, but he'll grow. Follow your road. Don't look back. And she explains why that song really pushes her. And so, you know, some kids share songs about, like Disney songs. They share songs that their grandmother sang to them. It's a beautiful cultural opportunity to learn about each other. And there are no wrong songs. There was a student in Noah's class that said he had no songs, but then she talked with him through it. There's a lot of you can adapt these. He ended up sharing about the music that's played on his video games and what it means to him, and explained it. See, it's still about him. And so that's totally fine. Some students, how they present can be different too. One student sang, one student played an instrument. You can use a poster board. You don't have to do it like this. But this absolutely works in distance learning because, again, it's all done outside on their own, and they get 5 minutes. You could do this in a Zoom. They could screen share and use video just like I'm doing right here, right now. I want to offer you something that I hadn't thought of, though, that is really relevant right now. I came across a TikTok song that my 13-year-old daughter did recently. And it made me think, these don't have to be synchronous. They can be done asynchronously. Kids can make TikTok songs. They can write about it in a Google Doc and put it on a Padlet, and then other kids can come and comment on that. But see, they're already doing TikTok songs. She knows nothing about these projects. She's not my student, but I want to share with you this TikTok that she made about life before quarantine, so that we can talk about this for just a minute of what students are already doing. So all of the creativity that goes into to making this is so important. An outlet to express yourself, all of the social and emotional aspects of being able to express yourself the way you want to. She feels remorse for the life she had before this. And she's already expressing that through song. This is a nostalgic song. She could tie this to curriculum. She could write about this. It would be good to do that. I just want you to know kids are already doing this. They're already doing this. No wonder it's so compelling. No wonder they enjoy it so much. But you don't have to believe me. You can listen to our students. This is Yuri. This is a 3-minute video. In this video, a lot of you may know Yuri if you listen to his videos on my blog. There's a lot of 3-minute videos where he's talking about how he learned English so fast. How he, when he has no one helping him here in the country, where he had no family here and he went through really challenging things. We have videos like that. But this particular video, I asked him, what is something that made the biggest difference for you in the class? And he's talking about the choice projects. He mentions what's in a name, that project where you, also from Noa, where you research your name, you research the origins of your name, you interview your family, you analyze if it's still a good name for you. So sharing that kind of thing with the other students is such a fantastic thing for everybody to learn about everybody else and their cultural naming conventions and beauty behind their names. And there's a part here that's really funny because he says sometimes in school we have to learn things that we don't care about. But if you ask us to talk about ourselves, we'll do it with a smile. We'll do it with a smile on our face because we want to share. I love my life, he said, and everyone loves their life. And we want to share about those things. Another project he did that wasn't about his life, and kids they don't have to share about their lives. You could share about something that's very meaningful to you and explain why you think it's important that people see this perspective or see this that you're sharing. And so in this video, he talks about border crossing and how he thought it was really important for people to see border crossing from a particular perspective, just for empathy. And it's just profound. Our kids, just because they come without English, that is not a cognitive delay. That has nothing to do. That is a lack of opportunity issue, not a cognitive issue. Even lack of literacy because you don't have formal schooling. Lack of opportunity, not lack of cognitive ability. So let's give them the opportunities that kids need to become leaders, to rise above their situations. Those are opportunities to be creative, opportunities to express yourself and be a global thinker, and just to be honored for your point of view, to help you build confidence. We want to make sure we don't miss the reflection piece, because that's where we can help kids see the relevancy in all of this. They feel very, like it's very relevant because it's about them and it's what they want to present on. But when we listen to another student speak, can we reflect on why what they said is important? Can we reflect on why it's important to add to our linguistic repertoire? Can we reflect on why our native language is so important to maintain? Can we, there's so many things you can help kids see the relevancy of how they're learning to gain literacy and why it's important and why this project helped them do that. John Hattie will tell you that reflection piece is so important. It has such a high impact on learning that we want to get kids in the habit of doing it, of course. And we have ways in the virtual classroom, Google Forms, Google Docs, Flipgrid. These are some of the easiest ways that kids could do it remotely, but old school pen and paper works too. This is a Flipgrid. I want to shout out to teachers in Huntley School District who are doing a Flipgrid. I mean, they're doing a training that I'm giving. And I want to point out that they are not required to put their picture ever. That's a choice. But they decided to. But we need to think about that with kids too, right? So thank you for engaging in that. All right, here's the article I promised you. You'll love it. I mean, it's so important. It's the work of Larry Ferlazzo and researchers behind motivation. And Larry is talking about distance learning in this article. 4 ways to help students feel intrinsically motivated to do distance learning. Here's the link to it. And you won't be surprised at the 4 big things: autonomy, competence, relatedness, and relevance. So make sure that they have some control. Make sure they feel like they have a laser focus on how they're going to be successful. Competence, that relatedness piece is built into these projects. And then, connected to others to feel like they're cared about. And then relevance. It's all relevant, and we can help them see the relevancy in what we're teaching when we use projects and reading and writing activities like these. Thank you so much. Can we do this? Can we do our content language objective? Let's go to Twitter and let's express our thoughts about the choice projects. If you're watching it in real time, I'm tweeting with you right now using the hashtag MadPD. I'll say, now I'm thinking, but tag me or tag Noah if you're not watching it in real time. We'd love to know that you watched this. And don't forget, you can use some of our vocabulary words in there as well. I appreciate everybody doing MadPD. I appreciate teachers right now to no end. You are the heroes. We're just going to always remember you in history, that you really stepped up at this time and helped students and helped the world. Have a great one. Bye-bye.